Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the BabyGirl Diaries. I hope you all had a fabulous week. I've just had a lot on my mind lately, so yeah, I have a lot to say today. First off, I want to start off by saying I love music, but I listen to pretty much anything in terms of the genres. Oh my god, I remember the first time I read that word and I said genres. It was so funny and embarrassing at the same time. But you already know. I can read properly, actually, I'm good at it. That's why I have a ton of books currently. I have like 60 books in total. Like 60. Like, who does that? 60 books in total, you guys. This includes some samples and ebooks, I guess. You could say a hot books. Anyway, my favorite genre is R&B. And speaking of R&B, one of my favorite artists is Tink. And one of my favorite albums at the moment is Pillow Talk by her. It came out 2 days ago, and as always, she never disappoints. I've always been a fan of hers since 2017. I don't know, like, it's something about her music. Like, I can relate to almost all the songs. Like, it's almost like she's in my brain, like a girl. But out of all the songs or albums she's made so far, my favorite is Gifted a Curse. And my favorite song on that album is Cap. I love that album, and I feel like her old albums like Winter's Diary are very underrated. I guess people just forgot about them, and these were her first albums. So back then, people didn't know much about her. Moving on to somebody else now. I also like Alecia Cara. Oh my god, I feel like I just pronounced her name wrong, but she's from Canada. I really like her album called The Growing Pains or something like that. So I would advise you to check it out. And it came out back in 2018, but it's still a good album. The main thing I like is her voice. Like, it's unique. Alecia kind of reminds me of Elena from the Vampire Diaries, and the voices are quite similar in my opinion. My favorite songs on the album are 7 Days and Girl Next Door. This sounds stupid, but her music makes me feel like I'm on a completely different planet. Although I literally am, because I have like my own little world in my head that some people consider to be weird, or some may put it as intriguing. She's like a sister from a different country. Oh, and I also love another album of hers called Know It All, the deluxe version. My favorite song on it is Overdose alongside I'm Yours and Scars to You're Beautiful. I also feel like one of her albums would have been perfect for the Vampire Diaries soundtrack. What do you guys think? I don't know, it's just like a random thought. Anywho, as I was saying, Alecia Cara is very talented. There's no doubt about that. Sometimes it makes me wonder about what she's like in real life. I would love to meet her in person, or at least go to one of her tours. Another artist I like is Ariana Grande. She actually reminds me of one of my gorgeous friends, aka Danny. Shout out to you, girl, because I know you're listening. In my eyes, she looks like her. The personalities are similar, and my friend can actually sing very well, although she doesn't want to admit it. I always joke around with her saying that if we were artists and if we were rich, she would be Ariana Grande and I would be Normani Day. I like her album Positions. I like one of the songs there called 34, 35, and Point of View. When I think of Ariana Grande, she does her own thing. And I like the fact that she's always herself and she really loves and appreciates her fans. And I think she's always on tour almost every year. And yeah, I also love Brandy. She was well known back in the early 2000s, but she's still making good music now. But I just want to say she's always bringing me like childhood memories when I listen to her music, especially her album called Human. I'm also glad I rediscovered that album. I know it's old, but it's still really good. And besides the music, most of the people make nowadays is trash, especially the hip hop and rap. So I like going back to old music. My favorite song on that album is called Warm It Up with Love and The Definition. I also like Right Here, Piano Man, and Camouflage. Brandy reminds me of someone, once again, but she reminds me of one of my old friend's mom because of her eyes and nose. I actually like her nose. She's got a really nice nose. Sometimes I wish I could go back to the early 2000s because honestly, life was so much better for everyone. Like, life was good. We were living our best life. But unfortunately, the world has changed, obviously. So here we are. Let's carry on. I like Chloe Exhale too. They were a duo and they are sisters actually, but they have moved on to be independent artists now. But when they were still a duo, their last album was Ungodly Hour. This is one of their best albums in my opinion. I love one of the songs there called Do It and another song called Busy Boy. I love how Chloe mainly produced everything. That's why the songs were so unique. Chloe Bailey is very talented. She's basically like the full package. Like, she's also an actress and she's been featured on shows such as Meet the Browns and Grownish. I love that show. I'm obsessed with it. I've always been a fan of a lot of American TV shows anyway. I remember I used to love this show called Everybody Hates Chris. Wow, I'm getting flashbacks. Like, life was good. Don't get me wrong, guys. Life is still good, just to be clear. Chloe can dance too, and she's a singer, songwriter. She's that girl, period. Apparently, Beyonce is her mentor. So it makes sense. And I'm so tired of people comparing her to Beyonce. Like, duh. She's like Beyonce because Beyonce is her mentor. And Chloe is very lucky to have Beyonce as her mentor, actually. I mean, who wouldn't want that? So, Doja Cat. Before I say anything about her, I want to say I really like her new look lately, but unfortunately, it's not everyone's cup of tea. I think it's great, like being bold suits her, and the fact that she shaved off her eyebrows is not something you see every day, but I understand her vision now. I also love how she's been taking her working out seriously and paying more attention to her health and herself, really, in general. And she looks more happy within herself. I feel like I can relate to some of the things she does, although she's a celebrity. She still acts like a normal human being, actually. She does some weird things sometimes, but it's the fact that she's humble for everything she has. Ooh, fun fact, Doja Cat is from South Africa. Like, how cool is that? I find that interesting. Anyway, I love her. Planet Her album, and my favorite song on there is I Don't Do Drugs. Every time I listen to it, I feel like if me and Danny were to collaborate as artists, we would make a song like that. I also love Payday and Alone. I'm going to be talking about a few of my favorite artists, so bear with me. So, Kehlani, some of you already know. I'm her biggest fan. I've been a fan of hers since 2016. She released her latest album, Blue Water Road, a few months ago, and I've been hooked ever since. Kehlani reminds me of one of my old friends from back in the day. Whenever I say it, like, I'm old, like, I'm only 21 years old. Well, I'll be 21 this year. And her name starts with a K as well, so that's interesting. Kehlani is currently my lock screen and home screen right now. I don't know. Am I sharing too much? I really like her other album. It was good until it wasn't. Like, it's a really good album. I'm sure some of you have listened to it already because it came out in 2020. I love one of the songs in it called Change Your Life. it really inspires me to become a better version of myself and to try new things and realize my full potential. She has another album called You Should Be Here and While We Wait. Most of the albums I'm talking about are at least 4 years old. This is irrelevant, but I also like her sleeve tattoos. Like, she's brave. It must have been painful sitting there for hours getting them done. And I like the small paper aeroplane tattoo she has on her face. I think I once saw a video of her explaining why she got it and the story and meaning behind it, but I forgot everything she said. So, guys, I did some digging and I found a YouTube video of her explaining it. She was basically saying, when you throw a paper aeroplane and it floats all the way down instead of quickly straight down, it reminds her that she can float all the way down, but gracefully. This is in her own words, guys. Basically, if she's saying that if she's having a bad day, she can choose to go with the flow of her feelings. Instead, she does that by writing it out in her music. Next, we have Kiana Lade. I hope I'm pronouncing her name well. Her album Kiki will forever be my favorite album out of any of the albums I like. She has a deluxe version of it too. I think I'm just gonna break down this album with each song. Let's start off with Cancelled. It basically it's about gaining back your confidence after someone, mainly man, do you wrong, and knowing your worth and that you're perfect and you don't need anybody. You're just fine on your own, girl. You're fine on your own. In conclusion, she basically says you should cancel the guy because he's trash. Like the whole cancel culture thing going on. You already know what I'm talking about. And the second song is Moving. Basically, she's trying to say no matter what you go through in life, don't let it get to you too much. Or in her own words, don't let it phase you. Like, keep pushing and do your thing. In my case, I tend to do a lot of shopping, which is not the best thing to do if you are not rich yet. You heard that? Yet. Let me stop. Anyway, basically, keep moving, but doing the things that make your mind, body, and soul happy. The third one is Mad and Me. Um, is for people who are lazy, really, and jealous and can't mind their business. So they'll stick their noses in your business and get mad at you because you're doing well for yourself. And the fact that they can't stand that, they can't stand seeing you doing great things for yourself. So you can't be mad at me. Fourth one is Chocolate. I think it's about feeling good about yourself, like you're on a holiday every day. It's just a vibe, like happy, chill vibes. I'm an introvert, so I am all about chill vibes. Don't be thinking about different type of chill vibes. Remember, the Lord is watching you. Fifth one is Forfeit. Forfeit, yeah, which is similar to Moving, but more intense, in my opinion. So Kiana is warning a specific person that if they keep hurting her, things won't end well, and it could get very messy at the end of it. She is basically saying that the person should back off and leave her alone because there's a twist. Because the guy comes in actually and he's trying to give his point of view. And the sixth one is Second Chances. In the song, there's a guy who cheated on her, and I'm guessing is asking for forgiveness. And she's like, there's no more second chances because he's not taking us seriously enough. And the seventh one is Feel Away. I relate to this a lot because at one point there was someone ages ago who tried to make me feel a way like they tried to make me feel guilty for what I knew was best for me, and they had this obsession that if I didn't do things the way they wanted, um, that um, I was doing something wrong, which is ridiculous, honestly. As like, for example, if you're doing a math equation, some people have different ways of coming up with the answer. As long as you get the correct answer, right? Like the same correct answer at the end, right? Anyway, as I was saying, the eighth song is crazy. Someone really hurt her feelings and made her feel crazy and made her do crazy things like slashing the tires of the car the guy owns, and how she will, and like, yeah, she was really upset, and basically that was her way of showing him how crazy she can really get. Since he started calling her crazy, she basically feels insulted because calling someone crazy is quite a strong term. That's how I see it. It's quite a strong term. So, yeah, that's what she did. She slashed the tires, and I also want to say they are not all the songs in the album, by the way. These are just the few ones that I like the most. But next we have Money Long. I discovered her a few months ago, and I'm happy I did. Her voice is unique too. Her album Public Displays of Affection is the best thing ever. I like No Signal, one of the songs there. She also released a deluxe version of it in May. Next, we have Nayo. Nayo, I don't know. I love this woman so much. Like, sometimes I feel like if I could sing, I would be her. I think her voice and my voice would make me her. My favorite album of hers is Saturn. Saturn? I don't know. And the song I like the most is Orbit. I'm sure you guys are tired of listening to my voice by now, but there's more. So, Sunter. Next, we have Sunter. Her album Chocolate is so good. I like Best Man Wins out of the the songs in the album. Sunter reminds me of my sister for some reason. And the funny thing is my sister can actually sing too. Oh my god, guys. Hood Love and In My Feelings are my other favorite albums. Last but not least, we have Sydney Renee. I really like um her album called Based on a True Story. I like the part two of Stupid and Pinky Ring. Now let's close the chapter of music, guys. Let's move on to something else, a different topic. So I just want to talk about life in LA, really, like Los Angeles. And I just really want to talk about Los Angeles, California, and that city is my dream holiday destination. And I just need some fun people to go with. Me and my sister talk about this almost every month, but we never do anything about it. The first reason is LA is expensive, let alone a plane ticket for it. And the money we will need to buy nice things there when we get there. We have to save a lot of money for it. Speaking of holidays, me and my sister, aka Great Goddess, we were supposed to go to Turkey this summer, but once again, we didn't actually go or do anything about it. Actually, wait, no, I'm lying. I didn't do anything. She was ready to go and was planning everything, but I bailed on her at the end because your girl has never traveled alone. I was actually really like, I was just scared, okay? I actually really need to apologize to her because it's my fault simply because I got scared to do it. But we can try again next year, right? Right, sis? We can't we? Yeah. Anyway, back to the topic. I think LA is such a beautiful place. I think people who live in LA are literally having the time of their life. I would actually love to live in LA, But America is not the best place to live because of the natural disasters they have and earthquakes, particularly in LA. So stuff like that worries me. But overall, it's a nice place to live. But from what I've heard, it's great, it's amazing. But I've never actually been there before myself. I think some people kind of glamorize LA a little bit too much, like because most famous people or celebrity live in LA, aka Hollywood, but it still has its not so nice parts of it, just like any other city. Like no city is perfect, I'm assuming. Moving on to other things, we have Fifth Harmony. I'm gonna talk about something else now. So, Fifth Harmony. A few years ago, back in 2016, I became a huge fan of the girl group called Fifth Harmony. It had 5 members, and my favorite was Normani. I just want to say I love you. I just want to say I love you, Normani, like forever. She's never gonna hear this. Why am I even bothering? She's like my idol, my role model. I really look up to her a lot. She is the most beautiful human being I've ever seen. At one point, I thought she was perfect. I know, guys. We shouldn't glorify people, like that or wish to be them. But that's how I felt at the time. She's a hard worker. Like she's the full package. She's that girl. Like she's a dancer. She's a singer and songwriter too. I'm so obsessed with her. Like I've always set her pictures as my lock screen and home screen. Oh my god, I really miss Fifth Harmony. It's sad. I guess after a few years, they had to go their separate ways. No, girl group stays together forever anyway. So, but I'm so proud of all of them. They are all doing well for themselves in their own unique way. So good for them. Keep going, girls. You got this. Moving on, single people should be celebrated. Basically, I just want to talk about this. This is such a random thought, but you see how every year we actually, no, not we, but how some of you celebrate Valentine's Day. It's good, like it's great for you, but I don't think that it's fair that you guys get to be celebrated more than once a year. I only get celebrated on my birthday. What I'm trying to say is there should be Single People's Day where people like me get to be celebrated too. The only difference is instead of receiving a gift from a boyfriend or girlfriend, my friends would do that. Or go out for a girls' day out. Do you guys get it? That's just how I feel. I deserve to be celebrated because I am focusing on getting my life together and loving myself first in the process. It's good and healthy to be in a relationship, but you can't love somebody else if you don't love yourself. I can't lie. Sometimes I get a bit jealous on Valentine's Day when I see cute couples, but please don't judge me. Like, can you blame me? If you were me, you would be jealous too. I'm not teaching guys. I'm not teaching you guys to be jealous, but all I'm saying is that um I'm not teaching you. I'm not teaching you guys to be jealous though. It's normal to feel that way, but don't get too jealous to the point where you try to destroy other people's relationship because that's not okay. Your time will come. You gotta be patient, girl. Maybe it's for the best because relationships are not always lovey dovey all the time. Couples have arguments here and there. That's part of our human nature. Sometimes I feel like it's for the best to avoid any unnecessary stress because, like I said, relationships can be stressful. Moving on to another thing. This episode is a bit all over the place because I'm literally talking about like random things. Why am I talking so fast? But anyway, let's move on to Perfume. one of the things I love is perfume. When I say I love perfume, I'm not kidding. I technically hoard my perfume. I have like 10 at the moment, to be fair. It's actually really not that much. That's pretty normal in my opinion. There are girls out there that are worse than me. I know. I'm not part of it. But I love smelling good. That's all. My favorite perfume. My favorite perfume at the moment is My Way by Giorgio Armani. And yeah, it's nice. It's a vibe. I just love how perfume brings me memories, like old memories of random things like childhood memories or something like that. Or certain scents make you feel like you're on a completely different planet. Last weird random thing I want to say is it just me, but Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and Black China, they have the same eye shape. As always, I've left some links in the show notes below for the things I've spoken about today, and that is all for today, guys. But next Monday there won't be an episode, unfortunately, because I will be very busy with other things. So sorry, guys, but thank you for taking the time to listen to me, and coming here. So I will see you all in the next episode. Oh, yeah, I just added the links down here for music. I added Normani, Tink, Alecia Cara Sarah Child, I don't know. Ariana Grande, Brandy, Chloe Exhale, Doja Cat, Kaylani, Kiana Lade, Money Long, Nail. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing Nail's name right, but anyway. Saunter, Sydney Renee, and Fifth Harmony. And that is all for today, guys. And goodbye. Thank you very much.